22nd to Thailand, Thailand Rob. Sometimes when you're walking down the beach here on Kamala Beach, it's very empty. There's not much to see. And then sometimes you get to meet new friends. Guys, this is my friend Kelly.
Hey.
Hey Kelly, how you doing?
Good.
So, the other day, let me give you a little history of what happened. I was walking down the beach and I saw Kelly on the tree swing. We have tree swings and hammocks over here, and she was just chilling. And I actually struck up a conversation with her, ended up joining her for dinner, and we had, what did we talk for, like 2 hours?
Quite a long time.
Quite a long. She has a very interesting life, and I thought you guys might be interested in finding out what this stunning, smart, independent woman is. Well, come on, not many girls, women, do what you're doing right now.
Thank
Pretty
you.
bold, right?
Thank you, thank you.
All right, so Kelly, where are you from?
So I'm from London. I came over to Thailand a month ago, so I've been living out here for a little while now. Not very long.
Traveling?
Yes.
Not in one location?
No, so I'm going to be here for a little while longer, then maybe go to Bali after. I just want to see the world.
And so you've been traveling now a grand total of just 1 month?
Yeah.
Okay, but do you have a definite stopping point when you go back, or you're open-ended?
It's open-ended.
Listen to that. Now, did we tell them how old you were yet?
No. Yeah. So I'm 21 years old.
Independent, traveling the world. She's got a motorbike here, which I cannot imagine any Americans, but there's a few that have said, but usually they go, American girls usually travel in pairs.
Yeah.
They don't like to go anywhere by themselves. I don't know if it's just them or just safety or whatnot. I mean, I understand it. But she surprised the mess. I mean, like, I was taken aback that she's traveled over here. She's sitting here on the beach. We struck up a conversation, and then I asked her, I said, well, what do you do? Or are you just, you know, out of college or what? And she told me that now what is your work?
So I'm a life coach.
A life coach?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what I do is I'm somebody's go-to person. I basically coach people through different things in their life. I help them to get to where they want to be themselves. So it could be like in all different scenarios, but I basically came from this place back home where I used to be very depressed, very stuck with my thoughts. I didn't really believe in myself. I didn't really have much going for me when I was younger. I just kind of blamed myself for the like circumstances that I was put in.
Sure.
I didn't really have like a positive outlook. I just like,
well, kind of like most teens, you end up either crawling back in a shell or going full-blown hardcore.
yeah.
I went hardcore as a teenager, rebelled against everybody. And you told me you did a little bit of that.
Yeah. So I used to drink from like a very, very young age. I lived way too young. By the time I was like 16, I was out clubbing. By the time I was 18, I stopped all of that and I was just done. I was like, well, what more does life have to give me? I've done everything. And then...
Oh God, and I can remember when I was 19 thinking the same thing. It's like, what else could I possibly learn now?
Yeah.
It's so weird to think back now and you're like, well, it's only a couple of years for you. But for me, thinking back to think that I've seen or know it all, not know it all, but I've seen it all. Broken hearts and anger and frustration, and life has got me in this box I can't get out of.
Yeah.
Now that's where I wish I would have had, and I actually kind of did, have someone that could do what you do to kind of clear it up a little bit, make someone focus more on what they really would want to do rather than what they're stuck in, right?
Yeah, so like my job is basically helping people achieve what they want from life. So whether it be a goal, whether it be a certain way of living, like anything that they have that they want, I help them get that, because everything stems from your mindset and your thoughts. So usually what's holding you back is just your way of thinking. So for me, I studied a lot from the age of like 18 onwards. The last last like 3 years, and I found out about life coaching along my journey. So I started off just like reading books, podcasts, getting up early, having a routine, doing all of these different things that people tell you to do, and then I soon started learning all of like the real fundamentals, like how things really work. And then I really wanted to help the people around me. Like I have all my family. The reason why I grew up thinking like this is because my family were like this as well, so I didn't really know any better.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we had that conversation the other day. Well, my family's way old school. I don't know about your family at all, but old school ways don't tend to change on their own. They need coaching or guidance or education or something, because they're just thinking that black is black and white is white and that's all we got to work with.
Yeah.
But you help show the colors.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly this. Like I help people get perspective changes in different situations.
Now you also help people not only in your own age group, but all over the place, right? So from all over the world, right? Yeah,
people from all different ages. The way that I look at it is anyone that is ready to be and wants the help to get to place will be able to do it, as long as by taking my help is basically like you're rowing a boat by yourself to get to a destination, but instead of rowing the boat by yourself and like struggling, maybe getting lost on the way, you're just handing the oar to somebody else and like riding it together, so you get there like twice as quick. You've got somebody to like bounce off on the way there.
I get that completely. Now, do you work remotely, so you can work just from a laptop, or how do you work?
So yeah, I work remotely. People who want to see me in person, they can. But obviously I travel around a lot, so it's not very ideal. But a lot of my coaching does take place through video call, and it's really great because, if anything, I think it allows us to immerse into it a lot better without distractions, because you're in that zone where
you're in your comfort zone and they're in their comfort zone. Whereas, I get that. You use Zoom, right? I think you use Zoom, Skype or something like that. I know Zoom. Skype is the older one, Zoom is the newer one. And you can do it on, Facebook or Google has their own now. Do you have a specific hourly? How does that work for your customers? I think you told me the other day there's not one specific, like 1 hour.
No, yeah. When I coach with people, I like to coach for at least the minimum I will coach for is at least 2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Well, you're dedicated.
Yeah.
2 hours with Kelly, man.
But yeah, it's basically just the idea that everyone has their own individual needs, their own preferences, their own ways of, I don't like to have one set method to do things. I like to tailor it to the person that I'm working with, because everyone is an individual and they have individual needs. So this is the way I do my coaching. I like to work with the person that I'm working with. I'll think about how I can best serve them and best help them in all their wants and needs.
If one of my subscribers wants to get in contact with you, how do they do that? If they're wanting to just find out what your service is and the pricing and all that, what's the best way? Do you have a website or what?
So I have an Instagram, which is my main social media at the moment. You can follow me. It's at KellyWickRX.
I'll put it in the description below, and I'll also put it on a ticker underneath here right now. I'll put your Instagram name. How many followers you got on Instagram?
Not that many. I've got 7,000.
Not that many. Only 7,000. Yeah.
But,
can you imagine if 7,000 people were walking right now? That's a lot.
Yeah, but the impact I intend to make throughout my life, I'm 21 years old, and the fact that I'm doing this now, in 5 years' time, I know that the impact that I intend to make will be a lot bigger than 7,000 people.
Oh, absolutely, because when you teach somebody, a lot of times they end up teaching someone else, either consciously or subconsciously.
Very true.
So are you currently working while you're on your holiday right now, or have you been working while in Thailand?
Yeah, so the way I actually get clients is usually, the people I work with, I don't really like to call them clients. It's more I'm in the relationship business.
I understand that. That's very...
But yeah, the people I work with, it's always through word of mouth. So I've never actually had to go and market my services. I don't post it on Instagram hey, come and get coaching from me. Like
I'm your first commercial. I'm your first commercial.
Yeah.
Look, I'm putting Kelly's first commercial up, guys.
But like, yeah, for me it's mainly just the idea that people, once they experience coaching, that's the only way you can really understand the power that it can have for you. So for me it's just a case of when I talk to people, they want to understand about coaching, I give them the experience of coaching and they're like, okay, yeah, I want this.
Yeah.
And then that's how it works. Like, you can't give that to someone through an advertisement, or through this video even. Like, no one's gonna understand the true, like, transformation that you can get from coaching.
Well, at least in the video, they can actually see your disposition and your personality a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, like the other day in the 2-hour conversation that we had, we went through a lot of information that you're not going to get. And plus, she's not used to being stuck in front of a camera with you guys, you know, just staring at her. So she's a little, she says she's a little bit nervous, but she's doing very good. You're doing very good, honey. But you've got a laid back approach. You're really, literally approachable. I walked up to her on the beach and then ended up joining her, like I said, for dinner, and we just sat around talking, and she thought my life, she didn't know about me. And so I told her about my YouTube and packing a one-way ticket, packing 2 bags and a one-way ticket to Thailand. And she was like, no kidding? And so we just kept going. And I said, well, you're doing the same thing. You're just kind of wandering around the, you know, world doing your own thing, which is ballsy for a lot of people my age to even consider getting out of their rocket chair, their recliner at home, and getting a passport. Most of them were just sitting there looking and just going, I want to do it, maybe I'll do it next year, maybe, you know, excuses.
Yeah, this is the thing, like, you can always have excuses. Like, for me, like, people would look at me and say, but you're only 21 years old and you're a girl. Like, is that the right thing to be doing? Are you safe? Like, are you old enough to be doing this? Are you experienced enough? Like, this is the first time I've traveled alone before out of my country, and I decided to go 11 hours across the world.
Sure.
Like, if I'm gonna do it, I was like, I'm gonna go do it properly, but